Hey there, Mr. Bill. Little old me. Good to see you're finally getting some use out of that dobro. Because when I saw that thing in the shop, I said, oh, this is for Mr. Bill. He's going to love this. But, as we both know, it can be a little intimidating at first because they're weird looking. Doesn't have a hole right here like you're used to. It has this big metal thing. Oh, I don't know what all it does. Don't worry about what it does. All these do is it makes it louder. Yours, like this one, has what's called a spider cone. There are numerous different types of cones. Oh, 3 or 4 anyway. But we're not going to worry about that. Right now, we're going to worry about open tuning and what to do with these. So here, open D tuning. Also called Vestapole. It's just and what that is, especially if you put a finger or a capo on the 2nd fret, you have an E chord. This is just like if you were playing a regular E chord, but you only have to do it with 1 finger. Take the finger off, it's a D chord, the same kind of shape. So you just think around that, okay? Now, got to start somewhere. Might as well start with the old 1, 4, 5 progression. That's most blues, country, hillbilly, bluegrass, you name it. It's all going to be based around that. So for our 1, guess what? That's it. Just strum that sucker open. You got it. For your 4 chord, you can do one of 2 things easily. On the A string, 2nd fret. On the G string, 1st fret. Now it's not a perfect major chord, but it's close enough for jazz. You want perfect? Just come up to the 5th fret. See, this is a little airier, a little lighter. You can add the 2nd fret on the B string if you want to, but why make it harder than you have to? Okay? For the 5 chord, keep that 1st finger there, but middle finger on the 2nd fret on the D string, and you can put your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the B string. Boom, there you go. I mean, you can do it this way. Which, of all people, that's how Dolly Parton does it. Believe it or not. Yeah, she does this stuff too. So, it's a good start. But now once you're here, gotta start doing something, right? Easy one. I was telling you about dead thumb. You're gonna use your thumb. You can just straight beat. Doing is I'm playing around on the 3rd fret. Now you could use a pick, but it's going to be a little loud and bright doing that. I don't think that's what you're going for. I could be wrong. But like I said, for now, let's just stick with fancy, just hit a couple of the lower strings, and then come up on some of the higher strings. Not doing anything complicated. It just sounds complicated. Alright? And to someone who doesn't know what you're doing, they might think it looks complicated. But you're basically just doing this. One thumb, one finger. If need be, just sit there and do that for a while. Get the muscles used to doing it. As you can see, Gus is trying to help. He wants to see how it's done too. But he keeps forgetting he doesn't have thumbs, so it doesn't work very well for him. Okay? So try that. Fun little blues lick. Alright, did that all with one finger. Starting up here on the high string. 3rd fret. Next one. Slide like this. Fancy, use more fingers. Fancy here. See, now you can do all that. Now if you want to make it a little more bluesy, see what I'm doing there? The A string and the B string. Open, 2nd, 3rd. But play everything. To the A. So all I'm doing, playing that 4 chord, and I'm adding in 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open. Back. Now, if you want to make that 5 chord sound really bluesy, just do this. High string, 2nd fret. B string, 3rd fret. Bend this one. doing all this with my thumb. No finger picking. You don't have to run a touchdown on your first ball. Alright? Just get in the game. Get in the game and play. Big boss man, don't you hear me when I call? Big boss man, don't you hear me when I call? You ain't so big, this time all and that's all. And guess what? You're playing the blues. See? It ain't that difficult. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Now, back to some of that finger picking stuff I showed you a while back. When in doubt, low string, high two strings. So, you're up and so when we go to this fourth, instead of playing the low string, next one up. And we move to this one. Let your fingers play around. You're going to find a whole lot of stuff in there. And finding it is part of the fun of playing it. Alright? Just an FYI, 3rd fret stuff sounds very bluesy. You want to sound a little more country or a little more folky, 2nd and 4th fret. And this is where playing a little bit of slide starts to make it fun. Alright? It doesn't matter what finger you put it on. I've seen people play with a slide on this finger, on this finger, on this finger, and on this finger. I have a buddy of mine down in Australia, Matt Corcoran. He plays flat on his lap, and he plays over top of it like this. The boy's weird, but he's damn good. So you just pick whatever finger is good for you. And you don't need a slide that covers your whole damn finger. Alright? I will break you of that habit before you get into it. Alright? You're not playing pedal steel. You're playing slide guitar. You need to be able to move your hand. And if you got your finger in a splint, which is all the hell, here, I have one right over here. Let me show you. Alright? You put one of these things on, and guess what? You're kind of stuck. You can't really do a whole lot. Alright? And it's going to do the same thing. But if you use a smaller slide where you can bend your fingers some, you can do more. Alright? You won't get it overnight. It'll take you time. that's okay. Now, like I was telling you, L shapes, like moving the bishop in chess. 2 frets back, up and over. Or you can that would be going down. So when in doubt, mess around with easy stuff. And now that vibrato, you might do it fast, you might do it slow. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Your ears will tell you what fits, alright? Elmore James, as cool as he wasn't doing anything particularly fancy. It's just a slide across these 3. Alright, so just play around a little bit. You don't have to play all the strings at once, you can just do. See, that's a nice thing, you can do. One finger. Alright? Now there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do with Vestipole that if you're used to playing regular 6-string guitar, comes up pretty easy. Alright? Now the old rockabilly kind of stuff, that's where it came from. It came from blues. Ain't too hard. You'll get it. I have faith in you. We'll call this a little added bonus. Told you about Albert Collins teaching me some stuff. Like I said, he mostly used an open minor tuning. Same as this, but we tune the G string down one more half step. Well, that sounds dark and gloomy, doesn't it? But if you want to play a major chord, you just need one finger. And that little trill, that's the thing that Albert taught me, that's the only thing that stuck with me. The rest of it, 30 years later, I'm still trying to get it. that one works. Give me a minute, I'm going to retune, and I'll show you some Spanish tuning stuff. That would be key of G. Stick around. Okay. The open G tuning, sometimes called Spanish tuning, can throw guys off a little bit at first. Because like I said, with the open D tuning, it's more like an E chord that you're used to playing. But with this, you have this added fifth down the bottom. Kind of throws you off. But you can do the same shapes, just move them over one string. So you have your first, and guess what? On the D string, second fret. On the B string, first fret. Like I said, it's all a matter of moving it. And this is also the Keith Richards tuning. This is 80% of what Keith Richards does. See? Not too difficult. Now this is actually a really nice one for doing more melodic kind of slide stuff. Remember, L shapes. Now, as for the finger picking, again, when in doubt, start with dead thumb. That's your tonic. You can even get kind of cruddy with it. Get fancier. I'll tell you, when our buddy Mark first got himself a resonator guitar, and he was asking me to teach him how to do this stuff, he had his guitar in an open G tuning, and he just couldn't get it. All right, and I said, don't worry, that's normal. So I remember we were out record shopping over in Squirrel Hill. We both had our guitars with us, and I had to make a stop over in Bloomfield. And so we were over in Bloomfield, and we're walking down the street with our guitars, and we're talking about this. And I said, well, here, let me just show you. So we sat down on the sidewalk, and I said, put your guitar into an open D tuning. So he went from the G tuning to the D tuning. And I showed him the stuff that I just showed you. And he says, whoa, this makes a lot more sense. So yeah, probably start off with the D tuning. All right? And then you can get to the G tuning. Now you'll hear people talk about A tuning and E tuning. And be kind to your instrument. You don't need to go cranking the strings all the way up to do that. Just get a cheap capo and put it on the second fret. Boom. A tuning. If you're in the key of D, you can do that, and you have an E tuning. Alright? You can take the capo, put it all over the neck. No one's going to give you grief about it. And in some spots, it actually sounds a lot prettier. And if I have a capo handy,
which I might or might not. So let me take a look. Do I have one handy? No, I don't have one handy.
I was going to say, because sometimes, if we'll try it this way. And not as good this way, but sometimes it just sounds really nice that way. But monkey around with it, you'll get it. So start out with the open D, the vestibule, and the open G, Spanish tuning. Like I said, learn your 1-4-5s and learn to just have fun with it. The more you play with it, the more you're going to understand it. Okay? Don't be afraid of it. It's just a guitar. It's not going to bite you. It's only going to hurt you if you drop it on your foot. Okay? Alright? So in the meantime, keep playing.